This film has been living inside me for a long time. For 2 decades, I've been dreaming about creating a visual poem about climbing. What I really wanted to do was to create a visual poem, something that was not in any way a documentary, not a travelogue, but something that was bold, spare, and ethereal. It had a true connection to the earth, to the natural world, to humanity, and the one person's search for his own heart and his own connection to the world. Steve House was a natural choice to make this film. He's one of the most gifted climbers, but also more importantly, he's one of the most gifted writers that I know of.
I mean, you could work on this for a year. I'm sure, you know, like I could work on it like 1 day a week, every day for a year and still be changing it. It's cool.
And he's really able to share his soul and his searchings for self. That really struck me as something that we could work on and co-create a very strong short film together. One of the things I love most about filmmaking is that it's a collaborative process. I reached out to our producer, Kate Rolston. She was really helping just create the idea and storyboard the shoot. And of course, Draper as a fellow cinematographer on this shoot. So my staff and I really had a lot of great collaboration. Let's use our time to just create something for our own selves that's artistic and cool, you know, because we don't always get a chance to do that in our careers.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's mine. So the whole foundation for the film really was built upon the voiceover and the script, and that was Steve's opus. And Steve and I went back and forth on the script for at least over a month or so, and it was a great process. What I liked is his discovery is my deepest fear, if I'm brave enough to admit it, is that I will not be loved, that I'm not worthy of love, and that I don't deserve it. And I think that's a good visual.
Mm-hmm. So we went back and forth for a couple of months before we both found something that we were really comfortable with and figured out how we could do this and tell a really compelling story in an original way. Among the other preparations, Steve and I talked about what would be the best location to make this film. Our search really was just for a beautiful ice route that would look alpine and give the feeling of Steve being on a big mountain adventure alone. We ended up choosing Bridal Veil Falls in Telluride because it's a really beautiful and aesthetic ice route. Right, even if we're showing visuals of snow blowing over a mountaintop, you're still hearing
the hits and everything.
The audio is going to be an enormous part of this film. I think that it's one of the huge components. So that's going to be sounds of wind, of the ice axes and the crampons hitting against the ice, the sounds of ice falling down, the sounds of water running behind the ice climb. Steve's breathing is going to be incredibly important in the film, and the sense of building a sense of drama, of effort, and of exertion. One of the big clues for the audience that this is serious is the audio.
The most challenging part of this process is, I think, was a couple things. Was the stress of having this whole shoot and this production, you know, riding on the arrival of the 1DX cameras and not knowing when and if they were actually going to arrive from Japan.
So it was February 29th that we got the cameras. Yeah, it's 12:30. We just got the 1DX cameras in from FedEx, and we have about 90 minutes to test them in our studio before we leave for Telluride at 2 o'clock. So we're going to set all our custom functions, and what I'm really excited about is to figure out, you know, what this camera's capable of and how far we can push that for some of our night scenes this week. One of the bigger challenges for us working with this new camera, I mean, we've got to be able to retrain our eye as to what's possible for video capture in terms of low light. That's one of the bigger leaps that I think Biene and I have to make in the next, half day.
Right.